Hi everybody, my name is Professor Scott Keys, and I will be your instructor for this course, this summer course, U.S. History up until the end of the Civil War and actually up through Reconstruction, which ends in 1877. I want to first and foremost welcome all of you to this class. I hope and trust you've had somewhat of a short break and are rejuvenated a little bit to get going into this course. We have a lot of information to cover and only 8 weeks to cover it in. And so obviously I want to encourage you to make sure that you read through the class syllabus. You know exactly what the expectations are, when things are due, how I would like for them to be done, and all of that can be located either in the syllabi or on my welcome message, which is on Blackboard. So please be sure to be reading through these materials as they do provide for you information. I also want to encourage you to constantly be checking the school email, as I will repeatedly send content to you there, both in the form of announcements, which I always post and email out, as well as if I have any personal correspondence that I need to have with you. I will send that to your school email. Alright, so as already mentioned, this class is U.S. History up until 1877, and it will be a broad overview, and each week we will begin looking at some specific information. This week we are going to be looking at the English colonization in the early colonial period of the United States, and we will focus in also on the Salem witch trials, which is a rather interesting topic. A lot of students seem to really enjoy that because it's somewhat fascinating and it's mystical, and we're not exactly sure what's going on there. And so this week you have some lectures that you need to listen to, and I want to make a note on that. My lectures are voice narrated. They are done in a PowerPoint, but if you view them as a slideshow, that is, you go to slideshow and view it in that way, then you will actually hear me speaking the lecture. That way you don't just have to read it, you can actually hear me say the content and elaborate on it so that it's more like a face-to-face interaction. So make sure that you do listen to those. They do take some time to download because the files are very large, so give yourself some time. I know it's taken some students up to 40 minutes just because of the voice narration. So please give yourself sufficient time to upload those. Okay. There's also going to be weekly readings, and this week I believe it's chapter 3. It's actually more clearly delineated in the week 1 folder exactly what you have to read. But there's always going to be a lecture. There's always going to be some readings, some web pages, and some videos that I will have you interact with. And all of this you will assess, and then you will answer a weekly discussion board question. And sometimes I will have you respond to other students, other times I won't. If I happen to respond to you or ask you a question, please be sure to respond back to me because I'm trying to either award you more points or trying to get you to think more deeply about the material. Okay. Discussion boards are going to be due midweek as far as a main post is. They will be due midweek, and the day of that is stipulated in your syllabus, so again, please be looking at that. And then you will generally, if there's a response, you will have to respond to another student by Sunday. And all of your material needs to be uploaded by 12 midnight. A quick word on the discussion boards. When you are uploading these things, please be sure, one, to edit your information, check for spelling, punctuation, clarity of thought, that kind of thing. But also, think deeply about this information, all right? Interact with the material. I'm giving you guys a whole host of resources, whether it's films or videos or articles, in order to address the questions that I'm asking. So make sure that you don't answer these things very cursorily, but that you're diving deep. The same would also be true with responses to another student. The things I don't want to see are just, hey, nice job, I agree. I don't just want to see you post a question. Okay, I want to see you provide commentary and elaborate, provide new opinions, new facts, new points of view to try to bring the conversation deeper. So, if you have any questions about weekly due dates or weekly assignments or what my expectations are for these weekly things, then of course you can email me, contact me. Email I check habitually throughout the day. I've also provided you my phone number. If for some reason you have an emergency, you can call me. And of course I'm here to help, I'm here to serve, and that's part of what my job is to provide you the best opportunities to excel and to succeed, and so I'm here for you to serve your needs. Okay. With that, a couple of things I do want to make mention of. You will have weekly quizzes that you will have to answer. Generally, you will have an hour and a half to answer the questions. Each week will have a different number of questions. For example, this week there's very few questions that you're going to have to answer, while next week, during week 2, there's actually quite a bit more. And in fact, I will give you more time next week, 2 hours instead of the normal hour and a half, in order to answer those questions, simply because there are more. But each week you do have a discussion board, you do have a quiz that you will take, and that's what you'll do each week. There's also going to be a final paper that I will ask you to write. It's 4 to 5 pages, and the directions for that can be located under the Course Information tab, where you will also find your class syllabus. And all I'm asking you to do here is just to select one of the questions that I have already created for you, and then answer it. You have to use 5 sources. 3 of those can be web pages, 2 of them have to be books, and one of those books can be your textbook. And so all I'm asking you to do is just to take one of the questions that you will choose and answer it in 4 to 5 pages. And there are further directions for that, and you can see what those are. So that generally covers the idea of what this class is. I do want to stress that I do not accept late work for any reason other than emergency situations, and I reserve the right to define what an emergency situation is. I do not believe that busy work and family schedules constitute an emergency situation. And more often than not, I also do not look at technological malfunctions or problems as emergency situations. What I've seen in the past is that students will wait to the very last minute to start the assignments, and then their computer goes out on them and they're not able to complete it in time. Now, that's not an emergency situation. You need to be able to give yourself sufficient time to complete the assignments that you have been asked to do. So, but of course, I mean, always contact me if you feel like there's something that we can work out, and I'm always generally more flexible than non, so contact me if you have a concern or a problem, and we can work it out and see whether or not I will define it as an emergency. So that's an important thing to note. It's also important to note that I do grade a little bit on clarity of thought, grammar, punctuation, spelling, that kind of thing. So when you write your papers, please make sure that you edit your work. And again, the due dates for that can be located on the syllabi. So one of the last things I want to make mention of is that if you ever come across a video or some article or something that you can't view or see, it may be because you haven't loaded unsafe script. Now, generally, loading unsafe script won't hurt your computer. I've never had it happen to me, and I've never heard of a student where that has happened to. But if for some reason in the weekly folder you see a video that I'm saying is there and you can't see it, or it's a blank screen, you might want to check on the top left or right of your web browser. It depends on which you're using, whether it's Google, Chrome, or Firefox. And either on the left or right-hand side of the screen, what you might see is a little shield. Click on that shield and load unsafe script, and this should generally allow you to see such films. If you have other technological issues, you can contact me, and I'll do as best I can to address those, albeit I'm not a techie guy. So if we run into a situation where we have to deal with the tech department, let me know, because those types of things do come up from time to time. So again, any concerns you have, please let me know, and I will do the best I can to address those. And each week you will have a video like this from me, where I will either provide for you updated information about your work, I might provide elaboration on lectures, or I may just provide some general overview about what it is I'm looking for during that particular week. So always be looking at these videos, because there could be information in here that's pertinent, and be looking at the class syllabus, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. Alright guys, I'm excited about this course, and I hope you are as well, and I want to wish you all the best of luck. Alright guys, have a great week.